one more club I want to talk about before we get into just kind of some free discussions and talk about our honorable mentions is Real Madrid. So I've got them in at number 6. You've got them in at number 10, just scraping into the top 10. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I with my rankings, basically my 6 through 10 was just hoping in not a random order, but hoping that these teams will just respond to a patch of rough results. So I think with Madrid, my biggest problem is that they can't seem to get up for the lesser teams like Cadiz, like Shakhtar. I don't know if it's necessarily a complacency issue, if it's a motivational issue. I think those kind of go hand in hand. Um, but what's your feeling? I mean, this is a team that obviously won La Liga last year, um, kind of crapped out in the Champions League to City, and a couple of big mistakes in that second leg is what had them knocked out in the end. But I don't know. This team confuses me because when they play well, they can play really well. When Tony Cruz wants to be on his game and Luka Modric wants to be on his game, then they can bully some teams. But that seems to only happen once every couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think the one thing you'd say about them is they've still got a lot of quality, even though, yeah, I think if you to sum it up in one headline, they've got a lot of quality, but none of them are really lighting up the world stage at this present moment. Like you'd say, Inter Milan are a team with a lot of quality, and they've got Lukaku, who's absolutely killing it. Like Madrid don't have that person, in my opinion, at the moment. Um, But they've got a lot of senior players, and when you look at their bench, I've got a little thing in my notes where I look at their starting 11, and then I make a note of who's been left on the bench, and it's pretty crazy to be honest. So on the bench for the El Clasico was Eder Militao, Luka Modric, Luka Jovic, Isco, and Rodrigo. So that is 5 players who would be in the 11s for almost every team and would definitely be getting on the pitch, from the bench from every team. So they've got a lot of quality, but yeah, like I said, no one is really smashing it at the moment. The closest player to that would be either Sergio Ramos, who is still in really good form, like he's kind of continuing to grow as a player as he goes into the latter years of his career, and obviously Vinicius Junior, who has been their standout performer so far this season. He's got 3 goals already, so he's their top scorer. He's really talented. He's also great to watch, and he can cause any team's problems. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone really catching the eye on a consistent basis of late.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. The biggest issue is just world class players underperforming. Karim Benzema last year was immense for this team, and so far he's been basically irrelevant for most of the season. Um, there's other guys like Fede Valverde, who is a shadow of his former self so far this season. Obviously, he scored a very good goal in El Clasico, but that's just one moment from a season where he's been pretty bad. Um, but I think one place we have to look when we're talking about world class talent is Eden Hazard, and the fact that he's basically done nothing since coming to Madrid for, I think it was 120 million euros. Um,
Yeah,
Obviously, there's been some injuries, but first of all, I can't say I necessarily agree with their decision to buy him. I think he's very much a luxury player, and he's the kind of guy that on his day can win a game single handedly, but that's not every day. Um, so
hmm
it looks like he's coming back from injury this week, and he's going to be traveling with the team. I don't know if he'll make an appearance, but he's traveling with the team for the Champions League game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. But you know, it's a player like that could come in and catch form and really take this team to another level. But we're just waiting for these world class players to step up to the level that we know that they have.
yeah. I would not write Hazard off yet. Um, as an avid watcher of the Premier League for many, many years, Hazard was regarded as probably the very best until Kevin De Bruyne hit hit his top form, which he's still currently in. Um, so Hazard, like you say, on his day, he's absolutely unbelievable, but he's done it over his, I don't know, 5 or 6 years in the Premier League. He showed it consistently enough that he wasn't just a player who could turn up every now and again. He was the man. And his ability is crazy. He was a huge player for that Chelsea team, and like you say, if he does kind of kick into gear for Madrid, it's a complete game changer. It's a complete game changer because he is a player of the highest quality, and I think he's been unlucky with injuries since he got to Madrid. Really unlucky with injuries, and maybe he's just one of those who takes a little while to warm up and get back into the swing of things after injury. I've got to say, if he does go back in the next week or so, he's kind of going into the lion's den because you don't know what you're going to get in. You don't know what you're getting into with Madrid recently. Like their recent results are crazy. Losing to Shakhtar and Cadiz and then winning away at the Nou Camp. What the heck is going on? So it's not the easiest environment for Hazard to go back into, but I wouldn't write him off just yet. I know 100% that they've not seen anywhere near the best of him. So they should still be excited, Madrid fans.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not totally sold on him. I agree with you that in his time in the Premier League, he was incredible, but there was times where 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games he would completely go missing. Whether or not that was a personal issue or an issue at Chelsea is another conversation. But when he's not good, he's completely irrelevant. He's not somebody that provides something else if the goal scoring and the playmaking is not there. But it'll be interesting to see if he can catch some sort of form. But I mean, you look at the future matches for Real Madrid, and they are going into a really tough spell. So they've got, at time of recording, 1 hour until they play Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then they've got Huesca, which is a game they should win. But then they're going to play Inter Milan, Valencia, Villarreal, Inter Milan again, Alaves, Shakhtar, Sevilla, Mönchengladbach again, and then Atletico Madrid. I mean,
oh my word,
we're talking season making or season breaking spell of games here, I think. So they've got a bit of an injury issue right now. They essentially don't have a right back. Both Carvajal and Nacho have gone down with injuries. And it looks like they're going to be playing Ferland Mendy out at right back and playing Marcelo in at left back, who I think is just not a defender. And if you can target that left side of the Madrid defense, then it's very easy to get at them. So I don't know. It's season making or season breaking time in the next 4-5 weeks for them.
Yeah, or confidence making or confidence breaking. Definitely, they could emerge from that period as a broken team. So some will probably say, they wouldn't be surprised if Zidane emerges from that spell without a job, or he gets through that spell and with saying Zidane is the man, they're going to win. They're going to win the UCL again. So we're going to learn a lot about Madrid in the coming weeks, definitely, and the young and experienced players they've got, and what the older players can still bring to the table, and what the young players have got against really tough opposition. We're going to learn loads in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to just get your opinion on Zidane as a manager, because he's in this really tough spot in Madrid where when they win, it's because he's let them run out there and play, and he's a great manager and all that. And then when they lose, it's because he just let them run out there and play and had no game plan. So I get all of the criticism of him coming into a team with Gareth Bale, Sergio Ramos, Cristiano Ronaldo, all these guys, and winning a bunch of Champions Leagues. But do you think that he is a manager of talent, or is there something that he provides to get them to where they are? I mean, what? Just give me your overall thoughts on Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky because I think what people want to see from a coach is they need to be a revolutionary. That's the in thing at the moment. You know, Guardiola comes into Man City and it's like, whoa, look at this style of football we're playing. It's so innovative. It's so good to watch. Um, so if a manager doesn't really develop an identity like that, I think people are quick to pounce on them. Um, but the major thing that Zidane has got is 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Uh, no one's ever going to take that away from him, and it's going to be very difficult to match as well. So yeah, when it goes down in the history books, it'll probably go down as as a major success because that you can't ignore those 3 Champions Leagues in a row. But at present, I'm not totally sold on him, and I am of the this could be really unpopular. But I've always been of the thinking that knockout competitions, even though the Champions League is a longer competition, you've got groups, games over 2 legs and stuff like that. Knockout competitions shouldn't make or break a manager. Any team can have a good run and just win a sequence of games, or they might have had a really easy run to get to the final, that kind of thing. So I'm never one to judge managers just purely on trophies. And I've never been totally taken with Zidane because of that lack of identity. But you can't take away what he's done. At the end of the day, you can't take away what he's done, and he's got a team with a lot of stars. And maybe when you've got that at your disposal, you need someone of the stature of Zidane, someone you're in awe of, complete legend, to kind of manage all those players. I can't think of a player on earth who wouldn't be bowing down to Zidane. Yeah. So that's my opinion on him.
Yeah, I mean that's a really big thing to bring up is just the respect that he commands just when he walks into the dressing room, and this is the first manager really to come in to a dressing room that was dominated by Cristiano Ronaldo and really take control of it. And I remember there was times where he would bench Ronaldo for a cup game against Getafe or whatever, some sort of meaningless fixture where guys like Messi, guys like Ronaldo, they want to be playing 90 minutes of every single game. Doesn't matter the opponent, doesn't matter the competition. And Zidane was the guy to come in there and really find a way to basically tame Ronaldo. And I think that was a big part of them winning 3 Champions Leagues because he's so, like you said, he just commands so much respect, and everybody just kind of bows down to him, and nobody would necessarily argue with him. So in that sense, he's kind of perfect for Real Madrid because of the personalities and the egos that come with a Real Madrid dressing room. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can get through this really tricky period of games and come out on the other end better or for worse. But we'll see.
Yeah.